So as I mentioned in the other videos, we're going to talk about, and we're going to stay within the AI category. I'm doing a slew of videos in different categories, trying to look at various cryptos that are similar and comparing them. We're in AI. First, it was Render and Aether because they're both providing compute power with GPUs, which are useful in AI. Then yesterday, I discussed BitTensor because it's sort of is a standalone crypto, doesn't really have any competitors, is the largest fully diluted value in the AI space by far, creating a decentralized AI using and people who are providing compute power as well as helping with the various models through their subnets. Okay, so that is sort of a standalone. Today I want to talk about AI agents. So if I think of artificial intelligence, there are various subcategories. The two we just mentioned. Now let's talk about agents. The two I want to look at are Fetch and Virtual. Virtual's protocol, the crypto is virtual. If we look in the top AI categories, like we mentioned, they're listed here. But this is pretty much everyone who wants to be in AI is in this AI and big data category. So if we look at AI agents specifically, number 1 and number 2, I'm not comparing them because they're just the biggest. I'm comparing them because they are both actually in the AI agent space and somewhat competitive or providing similar. You could say their solutions are different. They are. But if you're trying to decide, because you have limited capital, opportunity cost says you can't invest in everything. So if you're looking to try to distribute it in AI and you want to pick a decentralized infrastructure one, maybe a model like BitTensor, and now you're trying to decide on agents, let's talk about how they're similar, how they're different, and we'll look at their pricing. Fetch is a fully diluted at 1.8 billion. Virtual's fully diluted 1.5 billion. So the market believes that these two are pretty close at the moment in terms of their overall value. Now, if you look here as I scroll down, or you see the mouse moving, 100 million, 100 million, 200 million, nothing comes close to these two. So in AI agents, by far, the market says these are the two best at the moment. Just looking at it from that standpoint. So first, let's look at Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. You'll often hear it referred to as Fetch. Here's why. A while back, there was, if you see the screen here, these four, Fetch.ai, Singularity Net, Ocean's Protocol, 3 different cryptos in the AI space. They merged together. Last time I did a video was back in, I think, November of 24, like 6 months ago, about Fetch, because I like it a lot. Full transparency, I own some. At the moment, I don't own Virtuals. We'll get to that. Then they added Kudos. Now, these 3 work together in the AI space. Kudos provides essentially more compute power, almost like a Render or an Aether, and they added it essentially to have a full solution, if you will, or owning the whole supply chain, I should say. Let's look at this graphic here. This explains why all 4 of them came together. You've got a data layer. I'm just going to go high level. That's Ocean Protocol. Secure, decentralized access, high quality data sets. Okay. AI services and modeling layer. Singularity Net. AI algorithms and frameworks. Agent deployment and execution layer. That was Fetch.ai. Offers the infrastructure to build, deploy, and manage autonomous agents. And then a compute layer, the decentralized computing power that we discussed, is Kudos. So essentially, this is what you would call like a development stack. And each one of them, and the reason they came together, while some of their solutions may have overlapped, they work very well together because they're providing a different part of that whole stack. So why is it called Artificial Superintelligence Alliance? That was the name they came up with. They merged the other tokens, Singularity Net and Ocean, into the Fetch token. That's why if you want to purchase it now, you look at it under FET. And you're getting all of these because they merge together. So together, they're providing a framework of which you have all the pieces you need to build these agents. They call them autonomous economic agents, AI-powered entities that operate independently to perform tasks like trading, logistics, optimization, whatever you happen to design them for. And they use what they call their Agentverse, a SaaS platform for deploying and managing the AI agents. So they have a whole infrastructure, been around for a while, done quite a few deals with different companies. Fetch, in terms of market cap, 1.6 billion, fully diluted 1.8. That means that the majority of their tokens are actually out onto the market. I mean, it looks like like 80 to 90% of them are out. Then if we look at virtuals, market cap about 1 billion, fully diluted 1.5. So about 2/3 of their tokens are out. That's great. So now virtual protocols here, they call theirs autonomous cognitive personas, ACPs, specifically for things like gaming and content creation. What's interesting about what they do is that you can co-own them. So this is their main website, and they've got some data here at the bottom. AI agent owners, talk about that in a second, 180,000 plus. AI agents and builders, 17,000. Lifetime trading volume, 7 billion. All right, owners, builders, agents. So you can build using their language, because this is a layer 1. You can build one of these agents. Agent owners, you can be a co-owner. And they have, I'll put a link to it below, app virtuals.io, and you can see the various agents. You can actually buy essentially tokens and co-own an agent. Why would you want to do that? The idea is, for example, they give the example of someone creates an agent and it lives and breathes on its own, so to speak. It's making its own decisions. And what does it do? It's to go to Uniswap and maybe deal with some arbitrage, maybe between Uniswap and a different exchange. And it's trying to buy and sell and make a little bit of profit when it sees price disparities. And when it makes a profit, that profit is then distributed among the owners of that particular agent. That's cool. Now, in summary, from what I've seen and read, virtuals, it is a layer 1. They're very specialized in what they're being built for and what I guess their language allows you to build them for. They're pretty early stage. There's a lot of hype. It is cool that you can co-own them. When I look at Fetch, it's been around a little longer. If you look at the background of some of the individuals involved, they have very impressive backgrounds from the various cryptos that came together, Singularity, Fetch, and Ocean's Protocol. And they've done quite a few deals, and they have a full development stack. So I would say that virtuals is a little more hypey. It's a little more specialized in what they're built and used for. And then you've got Fetch, or the ASA, the Alliance. They have the development stack, which allows people to have way more control and pretty much create an agent to do anything. So one seems to be a little more specialized, virtuals a little younger. Fetch, to me, is a little more mature, has done some more interesting deals, and they've got a full development stack. So I would say for the vast majority of companies, they're going to be going and looking at Fetch. Now, they both, at the moment, have very close, fully diluted values. Let's look at their pricing. First, let's look at virtuals. We'll just go back both of them for part of 24 up till now. Virtuals peaked 4.5 to 5. It's at 1.5. What's that, a 3x from where it is? Its low was down here, like everything else came down to about 50 cents. It peaked, it went up to about 2.50. It gave up about half to $1.50. So it gave up about half, just like most things have. Now, if you look at this, is interesting. If you look at the volume, and we cruise across here, let's see. The peak was over here, and we go straight across. Interestingly enough, because of this spike here, this is showing buying pressure. There is more buying pressure here at this price level than there was at this price level. That is a good sign. That's saying that there's some buying pressure here, pushing the price up. You would expect it on this one indicator alone. You want to look at many of them, but it's leading towards it's going to break to the upside because you've got more buyers even at this lower price. So if it just goes back November, December, you're looking at a 3x. Okay, Fetch. about the same thing if you look at 24. Now, it peaked around the April-May time frame, not November-December, and it was at 3.5 almost. Now it's at 0.6. So that's almost a 5x, just to get back to there, assuming that's the case. Now, interestingly enough, Fetch did come down in price. I'm not drawing trend lines, I'm just drawing lines. And the OBV did also come down. So that means that this is a legitimate sell-off because the price was coming down because people were selling it. We'd want to see this price if it were to turn, or if it continues to go sideways. We really want to see if this continues sideways like that, then we want to see this to start doing that, which would tell us it would break to the upside. If this continues to do that, it's telling us it'll probably break to the downside because there's just less and less buyers and more sellers. So at the moment right now, I wouldn't really look to jump into either of them until I saw them move. Which of the two do I prefer? I greatly prefer Fetch because I believe it's got a broader application. With that stack, you can build everything and anything. However, crypto can often be moved by no other reason than it's got a big community and a lot of hype behind it. And this virtuals protocol, I mean, these things look pretty interesting. Where were those funky looking agents? They gave them graphical pictures and whatnot. So could that thing move on hype? Yeah. But me personally, I'm in Fetch. Would I switch for some virtuals? Possibly. I'd want to see once the market hopefully does start to move to the upside. I'm going to start comparing not all my crypto to all my crypto, but my AI crypto to my AI crypto. And then I'm also going to compare the agents to the agents. So just like these videos, I would say, write those down or keep them in a spreadsheet, whether you own them or not. Here's the one you bought, but here's the competitor so that you can see. And if at any time, if everything starts running and you've got one that's really lagging behind, maybe Fetch doesn't go anywhere because everyone thinks it's too nerdy. It's a development stack. Who cares? This other one's got cool pictures. I'm going to buy that one. Who knows? Personally, I'm in Fetch. That's what I've chosen. You do whatever you want. Hope this was helpful. I'll have more comparison videos in other categories like DeFi coming up soon, if not tomorrow or the next day. Please do take a look at my school community down below. I have courses. So if you don't know how to set up wallets, you don't know how to move things around, you want to get more involved, I've got step-by-step courses laid out to teach you all of that and community discussions. Thanks for watching.